Previously on The Devil on G-string. Are we going to be hanging out again today?
あ、覚えててくれたんだ。
Of course, but the thing is, someone just came up, and Ichi and I are going to have to take care of some business on campus. So would you mind meeting up somewhere instead of waiting for me?
いいよ。昨日行った喫茶店で待ち合わせしよう。
If anything happens, just call me. You still have my cell number, right?
バッチリ。
Wait a minute. I see a smile on her, and it's quite cute. She stuck her chin up in the air.
私は宇佐美春だ。お前の名は?
How did you fix your hair so fast?
なんかすごい凛々しい。Azaiはただの学園生じゃないな。
What was your first clue? Are you a fortune teller? I'm just an average run-of-the-mill student that can be found anywhere. She's a strange one.
今時の学生が友達になろうという時に握手なんて照れくさいことをするか?
Formal one? Now that she mentions it, I suppose that's true. What kind of girl in this age would have others call her a hero for no reason? The habits from my job subconsciously surfaced.
それはそうっすね。
Well, I'm glad we got at least some mutual understanding on that front. Let's use this and build a bridge with it. Bees.
とても怖い。
Oh, no, not the bees! Not the bees! Ah!
I sat in the stands and silently observed the practice.
あ、兄さんだ!
A happy, carefree voice came from the direction of the rink. I couldn't see her coach anywhere, so it was probably break time.
兄さん、見て見て!
I immediately sensed something abnormal.
よく来たな。
So you're Azai Gonzu, huh?
カノンのことだが。
Gonzu opened up his hairy fist. The atmosphere in the room suddenly became unpleasant.
いいか、京介。
When he called my name, my anxiety peaked.
犯しておけ。
Excuse me? Hey, good morning. I spoke in a friendly tone. You're quite early too, Shiratori-san. So you're Shiratori.
私はあなたを知っているわ。
What about me?
ずいぶんと高そうな車に乗っているのね。
True, I had an imported deluxe limo. I told you I was rich. My dad gave it to me. But why did she know?
ずいぶんと人相の悪そうな人たちを連れ回しているのね。
Did you see me on the streets? Nobody from the school should know about the Azai Corporation. I've always been careful about how I go about doing things.
あなたは自分の倍くらいの年齢の人たちを顎で使っていたわ。
Where did you see that?
南区の住宅街。あなたのお父さんの屋敷の近くに私の家もあるの。
You want my advice? Keep your nose out of this kid's affairs. Because this guy's father is honestly kind of frightening. And so it continues. Greetings, my name is Neosekken, and welcome back to my Let's Play of The Devil on G-string. 2 episodes in, I'm already feeling the pressure to, find a good balance for this poor bastard that we're controlling. Or, at least in my case, finding what I would think would be a good balance for him, as in keeping him away from all the evil shit that his father seems to run, but Lord knows if we'll even be given an attempt to really try and get away from all that shit, because we seem really deep into it. And on top of that, well, there's also the issue of dear old daddy here wanting me to screw his illegitimate child. Oh, this poor bastard. I do kind of feel bad for him now, even if I admittedly don't find him all that compelling as a person, or all that likable either. So, let's see what crazy hijinks we'll get into today. Miki-chan didn't call today. Tsubaki, Kanan, Eiichi, and I were on the rooftop as usual. Usami was there as well, keeping her distance from the rest of us.
お昼だ。今日はたくさん食べるぞ。
Kanan brought a lot of bread from the convenience store.
カノンちゃん、今日も体育で大活躍だったもんね。お腹空いたでしょ。ここんところずっとお昼抜いてたからね。僕のお菓子も食べる？セントラル街の有名なプリンだよ。自分で食べるために買ったんだけど、特別に分けてあげる。
He has already given up on hitting Kanan? Yeah, sure. I doubt it.
あ、ファンキーのプリンだ。美味しそうだね。
Funky is a popular dessert shop among the girls.
賞味期限切れだっつーの。こんなんで許してやる俺。マジ寛大じゃね。
Told you. I really should stop him.
なんちゃんプリン嫌い。ほんと？カノンちゃんって甘いもの好きそうじゃない？
No, I won't believe that you just saw through your ruse.
人は見かけによらないっていう格言があるんだよ。ちきしょう。大抵の女は甘いもんで釣れるっつうのよ。つうか格言とか調子こいてんじゃねえぞボケ。エイちゃん食べないの？僕はいいよ。なんで？甘いもの好きでしょ？いつもバクバク食べてるじゃない。
She's got a point.
男子3日会わざればって言うでしょ。
Not sure I've ever heard that saying before.
言わないよ。
Well, that explains it, because it's apparently not a saying.
そんな断言しないでよ。
Nah, I choose to believe Kanan actually knows what she's saying this time. If reality decides to contradict both me and her, then, well, I guess that's that then. Oh well.
のんちゃんの言うこと絶対正しいよ。絶対合ってるよ。ねえ兄さん。
Sure. Yeah. Anyways, eat your pudding, Eiichi.
いいったら、椿ちゃん食べなよ。ごめんね。私もお腹いっぱいだから。じゃあ、宇佐美さんは？
Usami, who'd been watching us argue from far away, responded with another question.
プリンって持って3日くらいですかね。
Depends on the pudding.
2日以内に食べるのがいいと思うな。じゃあ自分甘いものは好きな方なんすけど、賞味期限切れなのは勘弁っすね。
Eiichi's pupils contracted.
いやまあ当てずっぽうっすけどね。自分セントラル街でバイトしてるんすよ。唐突っすけど。だからわかるんすけど、ファンキーでしたっけ？確か一昨日は定休日でしたよね。
Well, Eiichi, how you gonna talk your way out of this one?
おととい？それがどうしたの？昨日買ったプリンだよ。何か変かな？ちょっとおかしくないっすかね。何が？エテ吉さんは毎日違うお菓子を食べるんすよね。昨日言ってましたよね。ポリスイとか？ポリスイじゃなくてポリシー。まあ何でもいいんすけど。何でもいいなら無駄に発音ひねらないでよ。重要なのは昨日もプリン食べてたってことっすよ。
Come to think of it.
だから今日は昨日と同じお菓子を食べないんなら、今日食べるために昨日と同じプリンを買いに行くっていうのはポリスイ的にちょっとおかしくないっすか？
Excuses, Eiichi. We're both waiting for him.
いや、だからカノンちゃんにあげようと思って買いに行ったんだよ。そう。自分で食べるために買ったって さっき妙にもったいつけて言ってませんでしたっけ？
I think you'd be better off just shutting your trap at this point, kid.
それは
Rip Aizawa Eiichi. That's true. You ate pudding just yesterday, and the shop was closed the day before. Thus the pudding must be from long ago.
エイちゃん、まさか賞味期限切れてるの知ってて。そんなことないよね。知らなかったよね。
Everybody stared at Eiichi, approaching him slowly.
通販で買ったんだよ。
Saying that was like pleading guilty.
神、助けてくれ。
Don't you remember? I forsook you. Doubt it's possible, bro. Eiichi retreated back into his despair. His despair is delicious.
そういえば、浅井くん、CD 聞いた？
Tsubaki's trying to change the topic. What a nice person. Since Eiichi looks miserable, let's just go with the flow. This CD? No, I haven't. I pulled the box CD out of my uniform's pocket.
どうして未開封なの？あんなに楽しみにしてたじゃない。
You still don't get, Tsubaki.
どうして大事そうにポッケに入れて学園に持ってきてるの？
You wouldn't understand either, Kanan. I cleared my throat. Yes, I truly was looking forward to this magnificent box CD. Believe me when I say it's like a glorious treasure that I've been waiting for far too long. However, that is precisely the reason why I will let it sleep. Let it ripen a bit in my pocket for one more excruciatingly long day. Delayed gratification, in other words.
What?
I realize it's difficult for you women folk to understand this, but the ecstasy of release after forcibly building that gripping tension of unnecessary restraint. It's breathtaking.
ただの魔女じゃないですか。
Say what you want. Regardless, I must subject myself to this trial by fire today. Crap, I'm starting to drool.
へえ、ちょっと貸して。
Ah. She snatched it away from me. Hey, hey! Give it back!
ちょっと見せてよ。いいでしょ？
Just a peek, okay? Listen, do not unwrap it. Absolutely do not unwrap it! I almost feel bad for you right now. Almost. Oh wait, I forgot to read that. The sound... Oh. Then, you know what? I won't even bother with that. Why should I? Hey! Wait! Hey! Damn it! I told you not to unwrap it!
まあまあ、中のブックレット読んでみたかったんだよ。
Damn! I wanted to read that too. I've been waiting so long that I would just kill to get a glimpse of it. The scene before me began to twist as if a dimensional rift had opened all around me.
うわー、やっぱり買ったばっかりだから CD もピカピカだね。
Of course it's new! It was wrapped in shrink wrap! Stop! Don't spin that divine disc on your fingers!
でへへへへ。
Kanan flashed a devious smile. This is bad. This is the same expression she has when she's bullying Eiichi.
ねえ兄さん、
Crap.
パキってしてもいい？
No! Why would you snap a damn CD? Absolutely not! Absolutely not!
かのんちゃん、さすがに割ったら冗談じゃ済まないよ。
Well, it will be a joke to the powers that be, maybe. Yeah, Tsubaki! Help me out here! Don't break it!
絶対ダメだよ。どう うしよっかな。兄さんが困ってる。兄さんが困ってるよ。
Is this revenge for me missing out on your first practice? Hey, who saw me? Why are you still standing around? Come help us stop her!
あ、はい。絶対ダメだ。
I really like this girl. Ichi, you too! Get up off your lazy ass! Help me think of a way to stop this crazy kid!
絶対やめろ。
Kanon gripped the CD with both hands. Oh god, oh god. I feel this, our protag's pain. I really do. I clearly saw her thin nails sink into the disc.
兄さん、おととい約束すっぽかしたよね。
It is revenge for that! I called it! Oh, yeah.
兄さん、昨日もいきなり帰っちゃったよね。
Well, I guess there's that too, but at least to be fair, I had a very good reason for that. I just can't tell you. For your own safety. Stop! Stop!
え？
Stop! I flew toward Kanon. And as though a cheetah leaping in for the kill. She was stunned as I wrestled her for the disc. Touched the disc with my fingertips. Got a hold of it for a moment. And then lost it again. I stretched my arms out one last time. But the CD has already fallen to the ground. Please tell me it landed face up instead of bottom down. Wait, that doesn't even make sense. Well, you know, the face landing on the ground, so the bottom is facing skyward, so the bottom doesn't get scratched. That's what I meant. The entire landscape darkened in my despair. Yeah, it landed bottom. Trust me, I feel your pain. I really do. I sank to my knees. Picking up the disc, I examined the surface carefully. A thread-like scar was gashed across the shimmering surface. Nyah! Then, there was absolute darkness. The box CD that I've restrained myself from opening has been injured.
兄さん、兄さん。
Kanon patted my shoulder. Kanon,
ん？
don't you have something to say to me? She just smiled sweetly like a little devil.
割るつもりはなかったんだよ。
Oh, really?
でもみんなして絶対ダメ、絶対ダメって言うんだもん。絶対って10回くらい言ってたもん。これって振りっていうやつだよね。
Kanon, no one told you to not take my CD and then open it and then threaten to break it before you decide to do it. That doesn't work here. This ain't no comedy show. Well, it sure feels like it.
まあ、振りといえば振りでしたね。
No, she doesn't! Gah.
元気出してよ、アザイくん。そんな悲しい顔しないで。また一緒に買いに行けばいいじゃない。
Lord knows I got plenty of money. Stop shitting around!
カノンちゃんもひどいな。でも京介くんも大人になろうね。
Don't talk to me about maturity, you little green-haired leprechaun. You fucker!
みんな面白かったみたいだし。兄さん人気者だね。
You bitch! Unforgivable. Absolutely unforgivable! Didn't I already forsook you? Why are you standing before your god again, peasant? We are alive! It is mine to avenge! I'd rather betray the world than let the world betray me! After school, in the lab equipment storage room, I roared to my worshipper. Hey you, foolish mortal!
はい。
I shall grant your puny desires.
何でしたっけ？
Getting revenge against Kanan. Don't go forgetting about it. Kanan, damn it!
神、落ち着いてくださいよ。
That brat has overstepped her boundaries. Remember when you piddly humans built a tower to heaven? God was outraged. I feel exactly the same way right now.
でも、たかが妹のいたずらじゃないですか。
Even God can get annoyed by his little sister pulling pranks on him. There are kin-slaying gods.
本気なんですか？
Kid, don't you understand? If you stood in line from 1 a.m. to 10 a.m. for a game and someone just broke it for fun, what would you do? Well, I'd throttle them.
また買えばいいじゃないですか。
Well, I'd do that after throttling them. Shut up! You can only say that when it's not your stuff that's been broken.
いや、神も昨日は全然俺に構ってくれなかったじゃないですか。
Not today! Look, the point is, we have to give Kanan the punishment she deserves.
わかりましたよ。
I have a plan.
さすがですね、神。
If having a plan to get revenge against somebody is enough to qualify you as a god here, then pretty much 70% of the human race would qualify by now. Myself included. I knew I was special. She broke the thing I was looking forward to the most.
はあ。
Fight fire with fire. What's something Kanan would look forward to?
お昼ご飯とかですかね。
No, fool! Think before you spout nonsense.
だって僕今日お昼食べてなくて。
Sports. Sports!
ああ。
Isn't there a volleyball tournament tomorrow? Well, you're God, wouldn't you know?
ですね。
Kanan would be heartbroken if that got cancelled.
なるほど、わかりました。闇討ちして怪我させるんですよね。
You don't get it at all, do you?
あ、違うんすか？
I thought for a moment. I'm going to do something much more grand.
は？
I took off my headgear.
おい、京介。もっと具体的に教えてくれよ。
It's quite simple. I cleared my throat for gravity's sake. After we're done here, I'm going to sneak into the faculty office and steal the key to the gym's storage room.
体育用具室？
That's where they keep all the sports equipment. The important thing is, that's where the volleyballs are as well, aren't they?
なるほど。鍵がなかったらボールが取れないな。
So they'll be forced to suspend tomorrow's game, right? Well, unless someone decides to bring in their own personal ball. Eiichi nodded.
お前、すっげえ悪だな。
I don't know. I can think of several ways this could go wrong real fast. I think this grand plan of yours isn't as grand as you think it is, Lord. Yeah, our entire class will be in chaos tomorrow.
何もそこまでしなくてもよくねえか？
It seems that fear has begun to grip Eiichi.
例えばカノンの体操服を隠すとか、そういう策でもいいじゃねえか。
The number of suspects would be too limited if we did that. We'd be the first ones suspected.
っていうか、やばくね？バレたらどうするんだよ。
Just don't get caught. If nobody's caught, it's not a crime. That's not how crime works, you twat.
クズの理屈じゃねえか。
Wow, finally, something you and I agree on for once. I don't want to be called an asshole by you. I smirked. So, let's begin.
まあ分かったよ。とっとと職員室行こうぜ。
Wait, we're not going right now. There's still a lot of teachers there. Also, the key to the sports equipment room would be in the hands of the club advisors at the moment.
じゃあどうするんだよ。
We wait. I answered him in one breath. The club activities should end by 9 o'clock. The key would also be returned to the faculty office by then. Teachers don't stay that late unless something unusual comes up. The only teachers on duty from that point forward would be the ones who check the doors and windows. Eiichi clapped his hands.
あ、今週の当番はのりこ先生だ。
Exactly.
のりこ先生を計画に抱き込んで鍵をゲットするんだな。
Sure, let's try it. That's impossible. She'll be in big trouble if she steals the key as a teacher.
のりこは俺の言いなりだから。
I don't think she'd obey that one.
ごめん、嘘。
Yeah, that's what I thought. Let me continue. I rubbed my eyebrows. After 9 o'clock, you head to the faculty office to double check that the only one in there is Miss Noriko.
一人じゃなかったろ？
It should be all right. We'll just think of another way then.
分かった。それで？
You lure her out of the faculty office. While she's gone, I'll sneak into the faculty office and steal the key.
鍵がどこにあるか分かるのか？
You know the math teacher's desk? There are some keys hanging on the wall behind the desk. That's where it is.
うん、見たことあるな。
I'll grab the master key while I'm at it. They should be at the same place. Are you following all this? I can get it done in 1 minute. You only need to buy that much time for me.
あ、ちょっと待って。
What?
役割を変えてくれよ。
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you just go and presume that you are on the same level of the divine hierarchy as I, green-haired leprechaun? He looks a bit troubled. You're asking me to lure Miss Noriko out? He pouted his lip, trying to act cute. Because you got rejected by her.
いや、そこまでひどいこと言われたわけじゃないけど。
I'm sure that's exactly what it is. Then what is it?
栄一くんって嘘つきなんだねって。
He seems to be taking it quite seriously. Well, she's not wrong, is she? You got hurt?
顔を合わしたらテンパりそう。お前の口から俺がどんなに誠実キャラか教えてやってくれよ。
Yeah, I doubt that's gonna do shit. Stop fooling around. In all seriousness, I can't really say I'm fond of the idea of calling out Miss Noriko myself. Explain to her why I'm still at school at night would be difficult for one thing. Tsubaki said it once before. I'm one of those people that heads straight home after school. If possible, I'd like to avoid doing something unnatural.
あ、頼むって。
God does not do anything that's unnatural, except when he wants to, green hair. So, obey my command. Fine. Just be quiet. You're letting this filth command you?
さすが神、一生ついていくぜ。
I seek to usurp God's throne if he's this weak in the face of this little asshole. I'll make sure to tell her what an ass you are.
ちょっとちょっと。
I clicked my tongue. Listen, you have to pay attention.
なんだ？
Before we go in and steal the key at 9, you can't be seen by anyone at school.
どうして？
Use your brain and think. I gently knocked his head. All they would need to know in order to deduce a list of suspects would be the time the key was stolen. Sometime between the end of club activities at 9 and tomorrow morning. That means anyone at school within this time frame will be a suspect. Of course, I'll be suspected too. Even so, it's okay as long as I'm with Miss Noriko.
あ、そっか。もし誰かに見つかったら、どうして夜遅くまで学園にいたのかって疑われちゃうもんな。
Understand? You need to pretend to have left school before 9 today.
オッケー、わかったよ。
Well, until the time comes, just hide here. I double-checked my plan to see if there was anything wrong. Let's see, other than using the room's key and master keys, are there still ways to open the gym storage room? Well, there's always a sledgehammer, I'm sure. It's not like it's a detective novel, where they would just break the lock and force their way in. Oh wow, this is all just a game anyway. The key will be in the school's mailbox after we're done.
これでカノンも残念賞ってやつじゃねえか。気分いいね。
Joke's on you, she doesn't get blue balls. I'm sure. Eiichi was already excited, like he won the lottery or something. The sunset died at the lab equipment storage room in Cornupe? I know I've seen this word before. Why do I not remember how to pronounce it? Well, cornucopia of hues. That probably wasn't even the right way to pronounce it. 10 minutes after 9, we commenced our plan. The corridor after school was thick, with a bone-chilling air after the lights were switched off. Now, go hide in the storeroom or something.
わかった。のりこ先生を外におびき出したら、俺の携帯に電話くれるんだったな。
Be careful when you receive the call and make sure your phone is on silent.
任せとけって。
Don't stand beside the windows, alright? Someone might see you from the outside.
任せとけっての。京介は心配性だな。
Yeah, we'll see, buddy. And he's certainly not doing a good job of alleviating my fears, that's for sure. Okay, contact me after you've stolen the key.
オッケーオッケー。速攻連絡するっての。
Not immediately. After you steal the key, leave the school without being spotted. Then contact me.
いいへい。
Eiichi refused to take this seriously. Well, let's go.
のりこ先生にちゃんと根回ししといてくれよ。
I ignored Eiichi's nonsense and headed toward the faculty office. Why does the classroom look so different at night? Oh, whoops. Forgot to read a line. As expected, only Miss Noriko remained. Hey, Miss Noriko? You think I could talk to you for a second? She jumped in surprise at the unexpected address, but quickly recovered her mature composure.
Azai 君だったわね。
Well, hey.
遅くまで勉強してるのね。
Well, hey, this game so far seems to have a pretty heavy emphasis on music, so composer works. I'll fight you on it. Azai-kun, was it? Studying so late? Oh, not at all.
あなたのことは聞いてるわよ。出席日数は思わしくないみたいだけど、成績も優秀で、女の子からの評判もいいみたいじゃない？
What a straightforward teacher. It's about... I confirmed the location of the key as I spoke. Just as I told Eiichi, the keys are lined up on the wall behind the math teacher's desk.
どうしたのかしら？
Now it's time to lead her out of the faculty office. Oh, wait. This isn't a good place to chat.
どうして？ここじゃダメ？誰もいないわよ。
This room is too stuffy. It smells like adults and the occasional old person. She's a bit suspicious, but that's nothing I wasn't expecting. It's about Eiichi. There's something I want to show you.
栄一君？
Miss Noriko's face froze.
見せたいものって？
Wait, can you come to the classroom with me? Please. You'll understand once you get there. I lowered my head slightly. I've heard him talk about you before. I clenched my fist and spoke with a trembling voice. What are you gonna say about our little goblin? Eiichi may be stupid, and he can be a little rotten at times, but he's not a bad person. I played the part of a nice teenager looking out for his friend. So, please. After a moment, Miss Noriko stood up.
仕方ないわね。
So far, everything's going according to plan. I quickly manipulated a cell phone in my pocket once I was out in the corridor. Eiichi, please don't mess this up. Right here. I led Miss Noriko to the classroom. I actually wanted to show you Eiichi's desk.
机?
Right. You'll know when you see it. It's that one. Miss Noriko seemed apprehensive as she approached Eiichi's desk. I started making up stories. So? There's a lot of writing on the desk, right?
何が? まっさらで傷一つない綺麗な机じゃない。
I widened my eyes. What? There's no writing on it?
書いてないわ。
Weird. I pretended to be in a panic and averted my eyes. That Eiichi. When did he rub it off?
アザイくん、どういうことか説明してもらえる?
Well, Eiichi's been thinking about you a lot these days. He had written... Oh, how should I put this? He'd written a love confession of sorts on the desk. Phrases like, I love you, and things like that were all over it. It might be a bald-faced lie, but it's fine as long as I can cover up for it somehow later.
本当なの?
Yes, he's actually an innocent and shy person.
そう。
Sorry, I meant to show you this sooner. Miss Noriko quietly laughed.
まあいいわ。アザイくんが友達思いなのは分かったから。
If only you knew how forgetful this kid was. No, not really. Really. I'm not. I'm really sorry for dragging you out here for nothing. I wanted you to see it while nobody was here in the classroom. I pointed out the reason for being at school at this hour. Just please reconsider about Eiichi. I didn't forget to help Eiichi out.
気持ちは分かったわ。でも、私、本当は他に好きな人がいるのよ。
Poor little goblin. Oh, is that so? Cry, Eiichi.
ごめんなさいね。
No, it's okay. Eiichi should be done by now. It's time for me to leave. I apologize for bringing such a sad circumstance to your attention. Miss Noriko smiles gently as she watches me go. The streets may be crowded, but tonight is especially cold.
ああ、京介、待たせたな。
Well, did you succeed? The pitiable Eiichi finally arrived. How did it go?
バッチリだ。
He revealed the 2 keys. Seems like he got the master key too. I'll take care of them. Nobody saw you, right?
大丈夫だって。
Yeah, I will not be surprised at all if it turns out somebody ended up seeing him. And they're gonna end up confronting us the following day or something. I'm calling it now. Did you say anything unnecessary in the faculty office? Like search through Miss Noriko's desk?
してね ないって。
We'll be suspended if we're caught, you know.
信用しろよ。
I'm still a bit worried. Oh well. I can't wait until tomorrow comes.
そうだな。
In the middle of the crowd, we burst into chuckles. The third lesson tomorrow is physical education. I can already see it now. A devastated look on Kanan's face.
ていうか寒くね。雪降るんじゃないのこれ。
Eiichi sniffled, his red ears quivering.
帰るわ。風邪ひきそうだし。
Oh, wait, Eiichi. While we're on Central Boulevard, I might as well ask him. Have you heard of a group called The Boys? Eiichi tilted his head and thought for a moment.
ああ、今超有名だよね。あいつらがやるイベントは当日チケット買えないって話じゃん。今じゃどこの箱からも引っ張りだこだって。
Do you know of any members' names?
なんか6人いるって聞いたよ。
Who's the leader?
ああ、よく知らんね。
But...
リーダーは人前には出ないんだって。普通イベントやる前にはトップが挨拶するもんだけど、そういうのもないみたいだし。
Is it because they're another genius high schooler like myself, perhaps? Nobody's ever seen him?
さすがに幹部は顔知ってるんじゃないかな。でもなんでそんなこと知りたがるの？
Actually, the girl I'm with right now likes these kind of clubs.
へえ。京介みたいなチャラ男なら俺に聞かないでも知ってるかと思ってた。
Nah, I appreciate the info. The boss never shows up, will he? If there are 6 members, though, at least one of them must be in contact with him. Well, then my course is clear. If Gonzo's group captures one of the members, that person will spit out the information quickly. To Gonzo, this is as humiliating as putting mud on one's face. He'd have the kid tortured for it. Looks like I won't even be needed.
じゃあまた明日な。
Yeah, I'll be a bit late tomorrow. I have to visit the hospital first thing in the morning.
え？精神科とか？
Eiichi's joking. You got me. Truth be told, though, I really am going to meet someone from that field. Who?
いいな、京介は。俺もいっぱいはらませたいぜ。
Well, it's farther than you'll ever get, that's for sure. He thinks that I'm meeting someone from OBGYN. Eiichi finally heads toward the bus station. If you only counted appearances, that guy would have been as cute as an angel. Well, now, time to don my other personality. I thought about the family business as I made phone calls one by one. I haven't taken part in any illegal dealings. We're trying to give the semblance of a legit company after all, and we don't want the police to pick up on anything funny. For example, I might provide snacks, towels, ice, handkerchiefs, plants, and artwork to hotels, fast food restaurants, pubs, clubs, etc. These may be minor accessories, but they still make a great profit when they start adding up. Central Boulevard is known for its services targeting the younger generation. To a mafia company like the Azai Corporation that runs on both clean and dirty business, that's a treasury of power. The Azai Corporation has the biggest stake in Central Boulevard right now, but the organization from Kansai are starting to set their eyes on it again, so we have to stay alert. Right. In order to increase sales in the industry, a little competition would be profitable. We shouldn't push Contini under too hard. Are there any outstanding issues that need to be dealt with? True. My father is a horrifying monster, but the Azai Corporation is not. Only the Demon Lord in some video game would actually relish in destroying the world.
じゃあまた明日な。
True. My father is a horrifying monster, but the Azai Corporation is not. Only the Demon Lord in some video game would actually relish in destroying the world.
うん。
True.
じゃあまた明日な。
My father is a horrifying monster, but the Azai Corporation is not. Only the Demon Lord in some video game would actually relish in destroying the world. Come to think of it, there's still Shiratori Mizuha. Yes, thanks for the help so far. And there's another issue. Shiratori scorns me because she holds issue with my alleged mafia work at such a young age. Anyone with an honest job would be shocked after finding out what I really did. But it isn't unusual for violent groups to use young people. They're young, full of energy, ignorant, and rash. And most importantly, they're protected by the law if and when anything goes sour. As the vanguard for violence, there's probably no better choice. The small difference between me and the rest of them, though, is that Gonzo doesn't treat me as just a bullet. My job's not using my body, but my mind. From the day I was adopted, Gonzo provided me with everything I needed. He even gave me the opportunity to get an education. Everything I could imagine was at my fingertips. Anything was obtainable. However, Gonzo recorded every last penny he ever spent on me. Not just food and water either. His criticism ranged from the rent of my tiny room to the cost of my office furniture, even down to a single sheet of tissue. Anything related to life was changed to a form of debt to him. All the costs, compounded by a steep interest, forced me to use my mind to achieve his ends. Right. Well, I'll talk to you again soon. The call ended. I sat quietly under the dim streetlights. Nearly every problem in this world can be solved with money. Take Central Boulevard as an example. Its very composition is undeniably intertwined with the almighty yen. Cell phones ringing everywhere, women with brand-name dresses. There's a road repair project underway at the end of the year, as the end of the year nears. Even the early winter's cold night sky is engulfed by the aura of the Sano Corporation building. Crush all of this. Then, at the exact moment I whispered this to myself.
寒いっすね。
Following me around, are we? Huh. When did she appear? Usami stood in front of me before I knew it. Usami? You sure are playing around quite late, aren't you?
ああ、違います。昼間も言いましたけど、バイトです。バイトの帰りです。
Oh, yeah, right. She did say that. Really? What would that job be?
それでちょっとお願いなんすけど。
And that is? You weren't listening, were you? I really don't like this girl.
あ、すいません。自分よく人をダウンな気分にさせるみたいなんで、ダウナー系の界隈ではブイブイ言わせてる方なんで。
Yeah, I guess I could see that.
いや、本当は人混みとか苦手なんすよ。背筋とか丸まっちゃって、下見て歩いてるもんだから、歩道の白線とかずっと数えちゃうんすよ。
What are you trying to say?
ああ、果物屋です。自分主にバナナ売ってます。
Enough, I understand. So, what is it that you want? Usami tilted her head.
携帯電話貸してもらえませんか？
My cell phone? You don't have one?
はい。自分電話とか苦手なんで。
It's not just calls. You're not used to communication itself, are you?
いや、それはないっす。
Clearly she does not know the first thing about herself.
バイト先に財布忘れちゃって、早く連絡しないとお店閉められちゃうと思うんで。すいません、唐突で。
Well, I guess that makes sense. Something's not right here. This annoying woman. Is she trying to check my call logs behind the guise of a long conversation? Sorry.
はい。
I don't have my cell phone with me right now.
持ってない。
She was right behind you when you just got off the phone. I'm quite positive that she was. She knows you have it. Usami's eyes widened as if she were shocked to the bone. I think I dropped it about an hour ago. I'm actually looking for it now. Her pure eyes twinkled.
それは嘘だ。
What? Usami's focus slowly moved from my eyes to the right.
寒いですよね。私なんか耳まで真っ赤です。
I see.
けれど、あなたは左の耳しか赤くない。これはつまり、ついさっきまで何かが右の耳に触れていたということだ。
Well, nice observation. This girl is pretty sharp. Okay. Sorry, I just wanted to fool around with you. Don't glare at me like that.
いえいえ、自分も冗談です。右の耳だけ寒さに強い体質なんで、とか言われたら、ギャグで終わってるところでした。
I wonder if you actually would just laugh it over with me, though. Sorry. I made my usual slack smile.
いえいえ。
Usami also made a creepy smile. I handed my cell phone over. Usami started dialing immediately.
あ、バイトの宇佐美です。ええ、サラサラロングヘアの宇佐美です。店長まだいらっしゃったんですね。よかったっす。
She returned to her lazy mood. This could be code speak. Maybe she's working for some other organization. And no, I have absolutely nothing to base that on. Just a wild guess on my part. The more I learn about her, the weirder she gets. Though I will admit that she's a genius at making others feel nervous. Or is it only me that she affects so strongly? I feel like that stare of hers sees everything within me.
どうも、終わりました。
Oh, found your wallet?
ありました。店が終わってバナナを冷蔵庫にしまうときに落としちゃったみたいですね。店長が拾っておいてくれましたよ。
You're pretty clumsy.
バイトでもかなりどやされてますよ。自慢じゃないっすけど。
She started scratching her head lazily.
それじゃ、この度はお手数をおかけしまして。
Usami turned her back toward me and continued forward. So, what's your real job?
はい？
Usami turned around. It might have been just my imagination, but Usami seemed a little happy. Working at a fruit stall is a lie, isn't it? Jeez.
どういうことっすかね。
What's her motive? To keep the flavor properly, one should never refrigerate bananas. That's even more crucial as a salesman than a customer. She must have already recognized this. She's trying to test me.
ああ、そうっすね。その通りっす。バレちゃいましたか。アザイさんって賢いっすね。何気ない会話の中で嘘を見抜くなんて。
Don't fuck with me. And you, Usami, are such an interesting person. So basically, she never actually had any intention of borrowing my cell phone.
あ、いや、ほんとすいません。バイト先は内緒ってことで、一つお願いします。
Why is she trying to get close to me?
でも、せっかくアザイさんとたくさんお話できましたし、せっかくついでに、一つだけいいっすかね。
Here it comes. What is it? The next point will be the crux of the conversation.
いや、大したことじゃないんすけど。
Usami straightened her back slowly as she spoke.
魔王、知らないか？
Huh? It's not a word one hears often, so I thought I had misheard her. Usami glared at me with stern eyes. What's Maou? Some demon lord in an RPG video game?
ゲームといえばゲームかもしれない。
I'm not sure what you mean. If you're looking for a game walkthroughs, wouldn't it be better to search on the net?
インターネットで所在がわかるほど簡単な敵じゃない。
Enemy?
敵だ。
The lazy ambience which had dominated the conversation up until now disappeared in an instant.
わからないか？
Why would I?
私は魔王を追ってこの町に来たんだ。
Are you serious? If so, then the only thing I can think of is that you're a bit mad.
要件はそれだけだ。
Huh?
私は魔王を探している。それをお前に知っておいてもらいたかった。
I had no reply. Nevertheless, Usami's eyes reflected something beyond mere determination. They reflected absolute hatred.
邪魔をしたな。
I'm really starting to think she's probably on a revenge quest of some kind. Her footsteps vanished into the crowd of Central Boulevard. Usami is looking for something called the Maou. She's probably referring to a specific person. Something feels wrong. Usami may be a strange woman, but she's clearly smart enough to be aware of what she's doing. So then why would she say something that would arouse suspicions of insanity? And why would she say it to me? Well, if I had to wager a guess, it's because she thinks that you may in fact have some kind of connection to this Maou that she's looking for. Now, what exactly the nature of that connection is, I really don't know yet. But I can't think of any other reason why she would just tell you. Time to go home. Even if I think about it, I'll just come up with nothing. Nothing except Usami Haru called herself a hero. A being of justice that subdues the strong and helps the weak. You don't find those kind of people. If such an extraordinary exception existed, I'd like to see it. It gets on my nerves, even if it was just a joke. And as for me, I'd rather play the role of the devil. At this time of day, the region of downtown Tomambetsu City, called Central Business, was enveloped in the darkness of night. Row upon row of colossal buildings sheltered the deserted streets from the cold winter air. Still, even wild dogs and the homeless stayed away from Central Business. The offices of hundreds of powerful companies lined up against each other within this single district. During business hours, famous celebrities from all around the world pass through this area and invariably show up on the media. Some business magazines have gone so far as to call Tomambetsu Central Business the second largest Japanese economic powerhouse, following Tokyo's business district. In the region's center lies an especially eye-catching enormous high-rise. A gargantuan tower with 50 stories above ground and 6 beneath. It was designed with the purpose of overlooking the entire city in mind, a purpose not unlike that of the company it houses. The headquarters of Sano Corporation, one of Japan's top conglomerates. When the other offices went into slumber, only this firm remained awake. Since they acquired intelligence from agents all around the world, the data simply couldn't be processed without a 24-hour work schedule. In the deepest part of the building stood Maou. The 7th floor, beneath the surface, a floor which should not have existed at all. The hidden chamber. It belonged to the Sanno Corporation, yes, but only a select few were allowed to enter. The average employee would not even be aware of its existence. This building had more security systems installed than any other in central business. Surveillance cameras, metal detectors, they had it all. The only access to this room was an elevator that led directly to the ground floor. For emergencies, triple reinforced glass separated the elevator's door from the entrance to the secret room.
この部屋ではたとえ人が死んだとしても秘密裏に処理されるのでしょうな。
A lone male said this. A man in a double-layered suit who looked to be somewhere in his 50s. A few strands of gray popped out from his head of neatly combed hair. His Sanno Corporation ID badge reflected a dull light under the dim fluorescent lamp.
こんな時間に呼び出してすまないね。だが、私だって時間を割いているということを理解してもらいたい。
The man's tone betrayed his strong confidence. His name was Someya. As Sanno Corporation's director of senior management and head of corporate strategy, he holds absolute power in this company. A single order from this man could cause the Nikkei index to fluctuate. A single phrase could drive an employee to take his own life. Nevertheless, Maou merely stared blankly at the wall before him.
君が経営企画室の影のブレーンとして我々に意見するようになってそろそろ1年になるかね。
Rather than nodding, Maou calmly rearranged his position.
はじめはどこの馬の骨かと思ったよ。社長の推薦とはいえ、設立80年の歴史を誇る山王物産によそ者が紛れ込んでいるのだからね。
He's beating around the bush. Perhaps that particular tendency comes with the territory for someone working in the trade business. Maou looked at Someya emotionlessly.
確かに君の活躍は目覚ましい。君のおかげで我が社はそれまで河川市場だった軍事産業に食い込むことができた。また大幅な人員削減によっていわゆる大企業病からの脱却を図ることもできた。さらに
Military industries. Large enterprise disease? Interesting. He showed no sign of stopping the praise. However, Maou already sensed the truth lying behind Someya's words. Thus, he finally began to speak.
私の力はもう不要だとおっしゃりたいのでしょう。
His quiet voice went straight to the point. Someya went silent.
私の指図であなた方は動き、莫大な利益を得た。だが同時に、とても世間に公表できないような計画も断行してしまった。
我が社は多くのリスクを抱え込んでしまったのだよ。
私のせいで？
君のその悪魔的な頭脳のせいでだ。
Someya's lips quivered. Maou knows. Someya may be in a position of power within an enormous company, but that only applies to the workings of the company itself. With respect to the illegal acts planned by Maou, he was a mere greenhorn.
率直に言おう。南米に飛んでもらいたい。
暖かいですな。
Maou let a subtle laugh escape his lips. Someya tried to smooth things over.
そこでしばらく身を隠して、ほとぼりが冷めるのを待ってもらいたいのだ。
暖かいですな。
Maou repeated again.
そう、暖かい場所だよ。現地では豪勢な社宅を用意してやる。
Mao shook his head.
違います。
何が違うのかね。
あなたが温室育ちだと言いたいのですよ。
Somea cringed as if he bit his tongue.
私を本当に邪魔だと言うならば、もっとやり方があるでしょ
う。やり方だと？
Just then, the elevator doors opened. A man in white entered. Somea's face turned to the side. He welcomed the man with eyes that cried for help.
紹介しよう。こちらは桑島君。
He was a young man that looked to be in his mid-20s. He was pale and frail looking, but his eyes seemed to glow with an eerie sheen. He seemed like the type that would be more at home in a laboratory than a business enterprise.
我が社の新しいコンサルタントだ。ボストンで勉強していたのを無理を言って来てもらったのだ。
私の後任というわけか。
大学ではゲーム理論を学んでました。
Kushima spoke with a husky voice.
魔王と呼ばれているそうですから、どんな方かと楽しみにしてましたが、意外とお若いんですね。僕は26ですが、ひょっとしてそれより下ですか？
ゲーム理論の専門家にしては、自分の情報をペラペラと喋る。
あなたのことは染谷室長から聞いてますよ。
Mao took a look at Somea. That motion alone filled Somea with fear.
桑島君はすでに社内の人間だ。君のことを話しても構わんだろう。
社内の人間。なるほど。山王物産ほどの大企業は、私のような得体の知れない人間の手を借り続けるのは居心地が悪いのでしょうな。
派遣交代というわけですよ。山王はこれから僕の手でクリーンに生まれ変わるんです。
Kushima continued his pretentious speech. Mao didn't hate young men who were blinded by pride. He smiled as he thought, "Oh, come, lovely child."
なんだ、僕のどこがおかしいんだ。
君は秀才であるのかもしれない。だが、実績はまだないのだろう。
Kushima sneered.
いいか、企業戦略は理論だ。実績なんて後からついてくる。最新の理論を持つ僕が華々しい功績を上げるであろうことは、すでに数値的には証明されているんだ。
頼もしいな。
Mao slowly walked toward Kushima.
一つ、ゲ
ーム？
君が勝てば、私は潔く身を引こう。採用試験と受け取ってもらっても構わない。
Kushima smiled as Mao finished.
いいでしょう。で、どんなゲームですか？
Mao stretched his left arm and held it out before Kushima. He spread out each finger and pointed it at the man before him.
君も同じように指を広げてくれ。
Kushima held out his left hand.
ここに私と君の分を足して10本の指がある。
魔王といえども指は5本なのですね。
Mao continued calmly, ignoring Kurishima's mockery.
ルールは簡単だ。これから我々は交互に空いている右手を使ってこの10本の指を折っていく。
逐次定番ゲームですか。かなりの得意分野ですよ。
自分の番が来たら指を2本折ってもいいし1本折ってもいい。ただし指は私と君のを交互に折らなければならない。
1本あるいは2本ですね。最終的に最後の指を折ったプレイヤーが勝ち。
察しがいいな。何か質問は？
Then Kushima quietly chuckled. He was trying to conceal his amusement. It seemed that his laughter was directed at what he considered to be his opponent's stupidity. Someone tells me that this Mao fellow has some pretty good finger strength.
提案ですがね、 魔王、
何かな？
僕が先行でいいですか？
Mao nodded. Kuishima smirked as his proposal was approved.
その代わり私からも提案だ。
何でもどうぞ。
各プレイヤーに与えられる制限時間は20秒としようか。
20秒。10秒もいりませんよ。
10秒でいいのか？
ええ。
本当に？
しつこいな。さっさとやりましょうよ。
This is gonna end badly, I can already tell. Mao and Kuishima faced each other. Each spread his left hand and straightened his fingers.
ではゲームを開始しますよ。
Kuishima bent his own thumb with his right hand.
まずは1本ですね。
Oh, I thought they were gonna like press their fingers against each other or something and just try to bend them back and backwards or something, you know, like a finger strength sort of game. But I think I get it now. They're trying to keep their fingers straight, the rest of their fingers straight, as they bend one down. If you can't do that, you lose. Since it began with Kurishima's thumb, the person who bends Mao's little finger will be the winner. Mao bent his own thumb, and Kurishima's index finger.
君の番だ。制限時間は10秒だったな。
Kuishima bent Mao's index finger with a confident look on his face.
1本でいいのかな？
ええ。僕の勝利は決まっていますから。
Mao bent 2 fingers during his next turn. Kurishima's middle finger and then his own. Kuishima chuckled afterward.
笑わせないでくださいよ、魔王。
どうした？
これはいわゆる先に10といったもん勝ちのゲームだ。必勝法は中学生でも知っていますよ。
Kuishima touched his own ring finger as he laughed uncontrollably.
僕のこの薬指はゲームにおける7番目の指です。このゲームは後ろから解いていけばいいのです。自分が10本目を折るためには7本目を折れば勝利が確定します。
ほ
う。7を折るためには4を、4を折るためには1を、つまり先行を取ったプレイヤーが必ず勝つんですよ。
Mao listened to Kuishima's explanation quietly.
なぜなら僕が7本目の指を折った場合、魔王は8本目のみ、あるいは8本目と9本目の指を折ることしかできませんからね。
Then, Kuishima finally put the seventh finger, his own ring finger, down.
君の語りが長いので制限時間はとっくに過ぎてしまった。
Mao said this calmly.
君の負けだと言いたいところだが、一度は許そう。
さすがは魔王。寛大な処置をありがとうございます。
だが、二度はない。ゲームを続ける。
ゲーム続行ですって？僕の説明が理解できなかったのですか？
3 fingers remain. The 8th, Mao's ring finger. The 9th, Kurishima's little finger. And the 10th, Mao's little finger.
あなたはバカですか？僕が7本目の指を折った以上、どうやったってあなたの負けなんですよ。
勝負というものは最後までわからない。
Mao put down his ring finger, then stretched his right hand toward Kurishima's pinky.
わからない人だな。染谷室長、これで僕を認めてくれますよね。
Kurishima's drunk on his victory, but then it happened. Suddenly, Kurishima screamed. He didn't clearly understand what had just happened, but his suffering and shock were plain on his face.
何を
As opposed to the panicked Kurashima, Mao didn't make the slightest reaction.
綺麗に折れたろ。実際に経験したことがあればわかるだろうが、小指が折れてもさほど苦痛はないものだ。
Kurashima's face turned pale. His finger was pointing at an impossible direction. It was no doubt a shock to a researcher like Kurashima. Mao had truly bent his pinky.
さて、君の番だ。
Kurashima didn't respond. Instead, he bent down and shivered in pain.
どうした？二度はないと言ったはずだぞ。10本目。私の小指を折れば君の勝利ではないか？
助けて
Kurashima's already abandoned all thoughts about the game. The match was decided. Mao put down his arm and spoke to the man before him as he whimpered like a small animal.
君が戦略家として使い物になるかどうかは初手で見極めがついていた。
Mao continued his speech without a shred of pride at his victory.
君の言う通り、このゲームは先行を取った者が必ず勝つゲームだ。誰でも知っているが、誰でも知っているからこそ裏を読まなければならなかった。
Kurashima's face lurched as he blocked his forehead with the back of his hand. He had already understood his complete failure.
君はまず初手で私の親指をへし折るべきだったのだ。小指と違って親指はかなり応える。だから私は20秒の制限時間を提案した。指を骨折した苦痛と衝撃に耐えるのに20秒程度の時間が欲しかったのだ。
そんな何のためらいもなく人の指を折るなんて。
何のためらいもなく人を傷つけることができなければ企業戦略家は務まらない。我々の一言で会社が倒産し一家が離散し自殺する。
Mao glanced at Someya, standing in the corner of the room like a decoration.
染谷室長、お分かりか？
Sweat started pouring from Someya's forehead, as if he just now realized how terribly powerful Mao really was.
私が邪魔者で企業にとって不必要だと判断したのならば、南米に飛ばすなどという暴挙はやめた方がいい。それは非常に手ぬるい選択だ。なぜなら私にはまだこの会社を使ってやるべきことがある。私が会社にもたらした利益に見合うだけの報酬を受け取っていない。不当な扱いを与えられるのならば、私は全力をもって山王物産に復讐するでしょ
う。わかった。
Someya raised his arms nervously. Mao continued closing in.
あなたはおっしゃったでしょう。この地下室ではたとえ死人が出ても秘密裏に処理されるのだと。
He did say that.
わかったと言っているじゃないか。
私を殺しなさい。それが一番確実ですよ。
やめてくれ。
Mao knows how to control his fellow man. He simply causes pain without hesitation. Someya and Kuwashima can't do this. Just now, Mao demonstrated this lethal distinction. This distinction in the magnificent, overwhelming strength of violence.
悪魔め。
Someya's curse was only a compliment to Mao. This is the guy that Usami's after? I hope she has some kind of good game plan up her sleeve here, because clearly this guy is not exactly someone that you should underestimate. We've seen one scene with him, and it's over a finger game, but I can already tell this guy is no moron, and he's got the will to do what's necessary to get what he wants. I hope you know what you're doing, Usami. That's all I'll say. It's not easy to get away from a clinical psychology counselor once one gets a hold of you. Truth be told, you can't find a person in this world who has a single psychological problem. And if you ask me, doctors are labeling mere discontent as a serious disease. The good news is that I haven't reached the point where I need to be sent to a hospital yet. Still, a 5,000 yen per hour therapy fee is simply too much of a waste in my eyes. They make money by preaching bullshit about something you could have figured out from reading a book. What a magical, lucrative business. So should I just talk about my past again? Can we at least see your eyes? Assume this is you. A certain building in the business district houses a clinical psychology institute on its 5th floor. Beyond the reception desk, inside the therapist's room, I sat sitting face to face with the attending physician. The room itself was a spacious 500 square feet or more. A comfortable sofa and a surreal landscape painting are present to relieve anxiety, and a pair of matching tea-colored bookcases position themselves along the daily commodities. Even the light music that was circulating the room was there to target the sought-after goal of soothing a patient's soul.
もう10回目くらいになるかな。
Dr. Akimoto's tone was steady. His overweight body was wrapped in a white coat, and he directed a warm gaze at me. I've already read the story of his life from the back cover of his book. His picture gave off an impression of your everyday chubby man, like that of a pig, but he's quite a distinguished man. He studied in the States, acted like a special lecturer at a certain university in Tokyo, and had been a psychological counselor in the hospital of said university.
京介君、今だからこそ本当のことを話すけれどね。
It always takes him a while to get to the point, but I've already gotten so used to it that I've come to find it almost endearing.
1年くらい前かな。ちょうど君が初めて私の元を訪ねてきた時だね。
Really?
君は何と言ってきたんだっけ？
One could say his job entails getting his patients to repeat what he already knows over and over for themselves. It seems like I have different values than the average teenager in this society. Everyone always says to trust others, respect your superiors, help your friends, and honor your parents. But that's not the way my mind works. I believe that people's hearts can be bought with money, that everyone only thinks of themselves, and that people act in order to further propagate what benefits them most. What a cynical outlook you have. Dr. Akimoto shook his blubbery head.
人間には誰しも良い自分と悪い自分が共存しているんだよ。幼児は犬猫をかわいそうだと思って拾ってあげる優しい一面と、カエルの口に爆竹を入れるような残酷な一面も持ち合わせているよね。けれど成長して情緒が整ってくると、悪い自分を理性で抑えられるようになる。君は今まで例えば人を殴ってやりたいとか思ったことはないかい？
Yes. When someone borrowed money without any intent to pay it back, I wanted to kill him.
けれど実際には殺さない。そうだよね。
Yes. He nodded again, satisfied.
ん？ここが境目なんだ。君が人格障害を持つ患者でないことを示すボーダーラインなんだ。
So, someone who doesn't restrain themselves is suffering from some kind of personality disorder by your definition, huh? Interesting. This could also just be the standard problems and worries that comes with growing up, yes?
アメリカのとある大学教授がね、思春期におけるホルモンバランスの変化がいわゆる不良少年を作り出す原因ではないということを実験で証明しているんだ。
But but the things that I'm doing right now aren't all that different from the actions of a delinquent. Gonzo introduced me to Dr. Akimoto. So on some level, he knows about my position within the Azai Corporation.
つまり君が人の心は金で買えると思うようになってしまったのはそれなりの理由があるということだよ。
Well, looking at who my father is, I think I got a pretty good idea of where that stems from. And that cause is...
それを今からじっくりと探っていこうじゃないか。
Oh. Truly a lucrative business. Worthy of respect. Of course, there's a reason I spend my money on this counseling. This is a process that I must go through in order to receive a psychiatrist's signature on certain documents. Those documents waive a large portion of my school's attendance and credit requirements, making it easier to graduate. To a person like me, who skips often and doesn't take his academics seriously, it's a great deal. Of course, it does cost a pretty penny, but I only come here once a month, so I just think of it as using money to buy time. Needless to say, I don't have some personality disorder like Akimoto suspects.
じゃあ今日は君が今のお父さん浅井権蔵さんに引き取られたいきさつについて聞いてみてもいいかな。
That story's a bit long. Is it alright?
ゆっくりで構わないよ。
I glance at the clock on the wall. I have 15 minutes left of the hour-long session. If I waste too much time, I'm going to be charged extra. To put it simply, it's a result of my biological father's debt. Go figure. I mean, your current father is basically a freaking debt collector of the highest order. 50 million yen in total. God damn! Did he try to start a business that failed or something? Most of it was from bank and NBFC loans. The real problem started when he borrowed dirty money from Gonzo's organization. Our family was cruelly and continuously harassed by Gonzo's thugs. After mortgaging the house, they carried away all our belongings, furniture, and electronics. There was nothing left. I've only found out recently that they sold everything to a pawn shop. Mother was a bit sickly. Since we didn't even have a bed, we could only lay down in some winter clothes in place of futons. Still, even my wildest dreams couldn't have never suspected the loan sharks to be so cruel. Yes, according to newly passed laws, the police can intervene on behalf of citizens when they come into conflict with the underground societies. There was even an organization called the Victims Association. They used the internet to expose the ways that money went through the underground. But these efforts were merely a joke to those people. If one debt collector is chased away, another one will come. If that one is chased away, yet another will rear his ugly head. No matter what, no matter how many times we fled or sought shelter, they would find us and knock on our doors. Filing for bankruptcy was popular for a while, but the process would take approximately 1 year from initial claim to closure. During this period of time, if the loan sharks caught up to you, you'd be dead. Your home, your parents' home, your friends' home, hotels nearby, taxi companies, newspaper stands, any place where one could get a temporary job, they would search everywhere. In their minds, it's a humiliation to allow one's prey to escape. As people hung up on preserving their honor, those stubborn bastards would chase us to the end, only stopping once they devoured us whole. We were easily caught at my grandmother's place. They even chased us all the way to Hokkaido. It was terrifying. Those bastards didn't even spare Mom. They bashed my face in when I tried to protect her. And now is how I first became involved with Azai Gonzo. I glanced at the clock again. The hour is almost up. I need to stop by the school. I better wrap this up fast.
なるほどね。よくわかったよ。
Do you? Really? Well then.
もう終わりにするかい？
Yes, there's something I need to do after this.
わかったよ。ただ、浅井君。
Dr. Akimoto lowered the meek corners of his eyes.
今の話だけで君という人間を理解するには少々難しいね。例えば、浅井権蔵さんはどうして債務者の息子である君を養子にしたんだい？
Good question. I'm sorry, sir, but the time.
ああ、いいんだよ。少しくらい。君がいつも1時間きっかりで帰るのは知っているからね。
He's definitely worthy of being someone whose business is people. He saw through me right away. Then I'll continue for a little longer.
ありがとう。
I sighed and picked up where I left off. He said, "You just might be something, someday."
権蔵さんに？
It's probably because he saw that I didn't seem scared even though I was being pounded on by thugs.
度胸が座っていたんだね。
It's because my mind had shut down at the time.
何にしてもヤクザに見込まれるなんて大した男だよ、君は。
This man's too warm. I met many people like him in my time. Nevertheless, I don't feel anything. No matter how upstanding a person is, you can't trust him. Even distinguished people, like this university professor and hospital advisor, are still after nothing but money. There have been occasions like today where he gave me discounts on the extra time I took. But that too is just another attempt to placate and manipulate his customers. Once again, you have a very cynical outlook on people. If personal interests aren't a part of the motive, then things just don't add up. I'd rather deal with the simple, easy to understand side of humanity than try to truly know someone. So I became the son of Azai Gonzo. Because in the whole world, you won't find a bastard that's as simple as him. Gonzo gave me a warm place to live, everyday necessities, and the means and motivation to graduate from middle school. If I went to see him today and mentioned that I wanted to work for the family business in the future, he'd enroll me tomorrow in business classes only the rich could afford. If I decided I wanted to get in shape, he'd introduce me to a boxing coach. Only he didn't do that out of love or goodwill. After he heard my requests, Gonzo would say the same thing every time. Listen, Kyosuke. The reason I gave you these things and money is to put you under my control. Dr. Akimoto's expression became grave for an instant. If you ever get the idea in your head to offer me my sleep, I'll have raised you in such a way to make you hesitate to go through with it, if even for but a second.
噂には聞いていたが、強烈なお父さんだね。
Isn't it great how simple and easy he is to understand? He had no answer to my inquiry. Well, that's pretty much it for time.
ああ、最後にいいかな。
What is it?
君は友達なんかからよく忘れっぽいと言われたりしていないかな。
Yes. I frowned. I sometimes forget about promises that I made.
そう。
He nodded with force. What about it?
いや、君のように忙しい若者ならうっかりすることもあるのだろうね。
He's clearly trying to hide the truth. The reason that he asked me that question. He likely intends to leave it hanging like that on purpose as a teaser for the next appointment.
じゃあ次回、また都合がついたら連絡をください。
Thanks again for today. I straightened up and left. After I paid at the end of the hall, I was suddenly hit with a wave of dizziness. I need a change of pace. I didn't think you had a happy childhood growing up here, considering who your current father figure is, but I didn't think it'd be quite that stressful. I think I'm going to go ahead and cut things off here. I guess we can deal with our own sessions of self-therapy, as well as well, I guess trying to maybe figure out what Usami wants with this Maou figure in the next episode. Although I highly doubt we're going to find an answer to the latter topic anytime soon. Call it a hunch. I hope you guys enjoyed this latest episode of The Devil on G-String. If you did and you want to see more content from me, feel free to subscribe to my channel. I will see you all next time. Take care.